Okay, sweet Sages, you had to wait a little longer. Fire and air had to wait another week before I could do yours. So you guys get an add-on though. So Jupiter talking to the Sun in Sagittarius last Monday as the luckiest day of the year, and also where your expansiveness is open at, or is in potential this coming year while Jupiter is in Sagittarius till next December. This month's moons for you. So we're coming right up to the Sagittarius new moon in a few days on the 7th. And then I'm also going to pull one for Black Moon Lilith and one for the moon for the Cancer full moon coming up right around the solstice. Okay. Then this is your add-on, a couple cards. One for you as Mercury, and one for you as Chiron moves as each of them moves direct right around your Saggy new moon. You as a mutable sign, the energy you have available to you as a mutable sign, and then any clarifiers. Red is representing your fieriness. Okay? So we will begin with just making sure we're rolling. Yeah, we are. Oh, look what came up. The 6 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. So it's sort of a remembrance or recollection, which I think of as something happening in the present, recollecting yourself, and then an anticipation. So an opening. Actually, I just cut the deck and I'm going to take these two. These are points of expansiveness for you in the coming year. Okay, so it's a gentle recollection. We can think of our lives via all the difficulties, and via just all the daily stresses, but also via the big upsets and traumas and disasters that have happened. We can also think of our lives, balance that in thinking of all the gorgeous care and beauty and love and grandeur and quiet ordinariness and just wonder of our lives and of ourselves, of being here, souls and bodies on earth. The wonder of that. And all the experiences that we bring to each new day. And all the wonder and openness and anticipation and possibility. Okay? So maybe a letting go of perhaps any habits that are keeping you from that softness of yourself and from that openness to what's next in each next amazing moment. And I know that some of you may not be at a point in your life where moments are feeling amazing, but to retain that sense of possibility is a deep gift to yourself, even if you can only manage it for a few minutes. The 6 of Wands, which, and it's reversed. I've been reading reversals as things coming more easily than you may have hoped or dreamed or even imagined was possible. So this energy of the 6 of Wands is a victory. It also can represent a coming together of parties that were estranged, or like a blending also of families. It can represent a commitment, but the deepest commitment is to the self, and the deepest knowledge is of the self's capability, even without having to feel like as a master or as a victor or anything like that. There's a softness, again, this softness to, oh look, and you have 2 6s, this softness to allowing yourself to know the true depth of your own nature, the true depth of your own power, and that is not anything that impinges on anyone else, or it's just being in that absolute fullness of yourself. Others might perceive it as impinging on them, if depending on where they're at, but if you know in yourself that you are acting in grace and integrity, you're doing no harm to anyone, but you are most importantly doing no harm to yourself, and if you're truly doing no harm to yourself, then you can never be harming another either. So okay, that's the newness of this moon. Okay, or the renewal of this moon, and it's an ongoing practice that we come back to, in patterns such as the patterns of the moon. We come back to it. Time is not like the straight train going who knows where, but it's a field, and it's patterns that intersect and repeat and change, deepen, lighten. Okay, I think that this Cancer full moon is going to be brimful of emotion, but I think that we need not fear those emotions. This is for Black Moon Lilith. So Black Moon Lilith has held so much and helped to hold us in space. Black Moon Lilith, I understand it as explained by the astrologer Kai Pacha in a video I watched at some point, but also just in a lot of ways, as what's been unseen, what is in some sense empty, but yet holds us in place. And also the repressed feminine under patriarchy, and all that has been held there within all sorts of people who identify in all sorts of ways in terms of their gender identity and other identities. Okay, so it's this. There's a satisfaction of like, my work has not gone and not rewarded exactly, but my work is of value. I am of value. What I do is valuable. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups for the regular moon. The Queen of Cups, talk about brimful of emotion, but very, very capable. It is some kind of self-contained font of love. Okay, that doesn't mean you don't need to take time for yourself and self-love and self-care. You can't always be giving. I think that might be the downfall at times of the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups is a goddess on earth, is carrying, within her, very physicality, for those of us who are who identify as female and have born children and nursed children, is that very physical embodiment of love and care, and how that carries us. No offense to anyone who is doing these things in other ways, but I think we do need to deeply honor that true work, that physical labor of bringing life, and to honor that in a way, that doesn't ignore anything about anything else about the expansive and amazing nature of any person. Nobody is defined by one act or one series of acts, but these acts are of tremendous value that has been devalued under patriarchy, and even under some forms of feminism as well. Oh, the King of Cups is here too, at the bottom. Okay. One for Chiron direct, and then one for Mercury direct. These are from a gorgeous deck that came out this year, 2018, written and designed by Starship Men. They're so nice. Oh my goodness. Seven of Swords, Lucretia Borgia. So Chiron direct. Okay. I often read the Seven of Swords as relinquishing a battle. Like, I'm simply not going to fight anymore. It's sort of a pacifist card. In the Rider Waite, it looks like a sneaking away. But I don't see it as a sneaking away. I see it as a resolution. I'm just not going to fight anymore. I'm so deeply and softly and truly within myself and within the possibilities of life here on earth, full of a knowledge of my own capability, full of a knowledge of all that's been hidden, the hidden labor, full of a knowledge of all the physical labor of love. I'm experienced, and I am able to stand in myself. Okay, I'm not relating this to the Borgias especially, whose last name I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing correctly. However, I'm reading the card. She's fully in herself. This background really, it's not that it's beyond her or she's beyond it, but it's only a background. It's only a wound that has occurred. It does not, your wounds do not define you. Okay, even Chiron's wounds. We move beyond even the wounded healer. You know, that might be controversial, and I'm sorry, but we do. We move beyond the wounded healer to the healed healer and to the healer. It just is beyond any reinscription of those traditions, events, trajectories, stories that have injured. Oh, and look what comes out, White Buffalo Calf Woman, speaking of a deep injury of, the genocidal colonialism that has occurred all over the earth. But then this is White Buffalo Calf Woman from the Lakota tradition in, middle North America. And it's just this depth of the human spirit, the divine feminine, the reality of the divinity of the land, the creatures, the physical sacredness. That we live as and within. What do you have available to you? I could go on. I don't want the reading. I feel slightly overwhelmed, and I also don't want the reading to be too long. Ace of Cups. This is what you have available to you as a mutable sign. It's talk about a font of ever-renewing love. You could think of that as the supergalactic center. You could think of that as the galactic center. You could think of that as what this Milky Way is. This font of ever-renewing love. And then within your own life, love. Love is what you have to draw upon. Okay, maybe should we take a clarifier? This is the King of Cups is a clarifier. I'm going to take another clarifier from the Rider Waite. So there's a meeting, there's a balanced. As you come to these things within yourself, others will meet you there. Others will meet you there. And as we all move into that integrity, speaking of the Lakota people, there was a great Lakota lawyer and activist and writer, Vine Deloria Jr., and he speaks of North America, how we need to think of our culture here as with people from all over the earth. Think of this culture, North American culture, as a totality and a novelty whose main concern, he said, we should be moving toward this understanding of ourselves as a culture that is a totality and a novelty, whose main concern is providing forms of existence that allow for the integrity and self-identification of all. Oh, and then what comes up is the devil. These are the constrictions, right? These are the constrictions. This is the clarity. This is the love. The love for yourself and the love for all. All right, that got long. Dear lucky sages, lucky sages. And you know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know your own softness. You won't know your own wholeness. Okay? Others will meet you. We can leave behind the disasters and traumas, and we are renewed